Greetings and welcome. TFT Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with the outlook on the emotional exchanges. It's my weekly reading about romance or emotional love-related kind of things. And it's pretty much down and dirty, quick we do them. So I use the Modern Love Tarot. And I just draw two cards from the top and the bottom. The top card represents the vibration, emotionally speaking, for the week. And then the bottom card is the idea of whether or not you are getting lucky in romance or whatever. So I do this for the signs of the zodiac, starting with Aries. We're going to do that right now. No frills, just doing it. And these are good for sun, moon, and rising. So, like I said, Aries, sun, moon, and rising. What is the vibration coming to you? What is the vibration around this week? And it's the Chariot reversed. This just doesn't feel like a good week to project the idea that you're possibly looking for emotional happiness of any sort. Whether you're in a partnership or not, and of course there is a dualistic aspect to the Chariot. It could just be saying right now is not the time really. There's low motivation for working on things maybe that cause or bring emotional happiness to the relationship or to the idea of a new relationship. I mean, if this is about, starting a new relationship, well, maybe it's not, because this week just doesn't seem to be favored for the drive or motivation to push yourself there. There could be some other aspects too. I mean, maybe the person you're interested in is really standoffish and is not interested in go. All right. So from the bottom of the deck, then, we're asking, will you be lucky, Aries? And it's a major arcana, so that means good luck. It could happen, but it's not a guarantee. And this time it's the Hierophant. And so it could be a sense of saying we have to play totally by the rules, or we have to be what looks correct. There's sort of a sense of conformity or societal approval connected to the Hierophant. So that's what we have for Aries. We'll now move on to Taurus. Sun, moon, and rising. Sun, moon, or rising. So what is the vibration or essence or theme of the week for Taurus? From the top. It's the Five of Wands reversed. And maybe, Tauruses, you're finding that this has been better than recently, that maybe you're finding you're able to reconcile some problems in a relationship you may have been having, whether it's your primary one or a new one. It may have looked like maybe things just were very uncooperative between people and it was my way or the highway kind of stuff. I see that as a possibility here, whether that was you invoking that or the other person. But now may be the time where maybe you might find more cooperation. Will you be lucky? And it's the Pentacles. So it will come with a price. It's the reversed Ace of Pentacles, and that tells me that maybe some aspect of satisfaction will have to be delayed. That's the price. All right, so we're moving on to Gemini then. Sun, moon, or rising. And what is the essence or vibration of the week? And sadly, it's the Five of Swords. So there's trouble, and the trouble maybe affects more than yourself. This is bigger than you. And it's the kind of thing where maybe restraints need to happen, or otherwise other people are going to be hurt. And so if it's in a relationship, then there's collateral damage, like maybe there's children, or maybe there's other people who are just close enough to the situation to feel some of that heat there in the kitchen. All right, will you be lucky, Gemini? And it's good luck because it's a major arcana and it's the Lovers. And maybe this is saying that cooler heads can prevail. People can make the right choices, the important right choices that the Lovers would represent. So good luck with that, Gemini. And we're going to move on to Cancer now. Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I want to thank everybody who's wished me well on my health journey. A few people have mentioned it recently on various shows or their emails, so I do appreciate that. Trying to take care. All right, so Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, what is the vibe for this week? It's the reverse Knight of Cups. So the vibe for the week, well, I'll have to say that it possibly feels like we're missing the mark, or we're not exactly in tune with the emotional situations that are around us, and that maybe we don't feel like we feel attracted to these situations for some reason. Will you be lucky? And it's wands, so you will have to work at it, but it's the four wands. And I like when the four wands shows up for this particular position, because I think it's saying where you can bring people together in the work, you will in fact be lucky. And so maybe being able to involve the potential, partner or situation, um, coming to a happy place with each other. All right, so that's what I have for Cancer. And we're going to move on to Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What is the vibe for the week? It's sharing. Sharing is caring. It's the Six of Pentacles. And I think this is also saying too, sharing across maybe lines that we don't normally share of. So, thinking culturally, or, in terms of gender associations and stuff like that. There we go. Come back. So like I said, sharing is caring. I think we have to be comfortable realizing that we are really connected to everybody, and that, it's a better thing, to try to share all of our emotional joys. And so that's the situation that maybe around you is an opportunity, to relate to a side that you don't always relate to, maybe from another culture or another situation. Will you be lucky, Leo? And it's cups. So it will come to you naturally. It's the reversed Five of Cups. And maybe it's the sense that if this represented maybe a challenge, trying to appreciate somebody from different circumstance, this one maybe says that yes, it happens, naturally, but I think it comes with the idea of also exploring more, maybe about, each other, where you're each from, the livelihood, etc. I'm sorry, I got a little vague there, but it hit me kind of funny. Anyway, we're going to move on now from Leo to Virgo. Sun, Moon, or Rising. Virgo, what's the essence around you? What's the vibration for this week? And it is the star. So there's a lot of hope right now. There's sort of a feeling like anything can happen, but whatever it is, it's really going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. Will you be lucky? And it's swords. No. In fact, it's the Page of Swords. And maybe, I don't know why, but maybe it's just not the time. I would say that it's not forever, no, but it's just not the time now. You know, the pages a lot of times are about the beginning of something. It's just saying this isn't going to begin right now, but that doesn't mean it won't in the future, Virgo. So move on to Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Essence or vibration for Libra for this week. And once again, it's the Five of Cups only. This time it's upright. And this card seems to indicate that maybe we have some really strong emotional feelings right now about somebody or something that we're not connected with anymore. It may be from our past, but it's making us stick. It's pausing our energy, and we're not realizing how much is left in life for us, especially things that may be important for us to do. Will Libra be lucky? And it's Pentacles, so it will come at a price. And it's the reverse Two of Pentacles. And I think this is saying that maybe not right away, maybe there's some delays here. Maybe you have to figure out the energy flow between you and whoever you're thinking about or whoever you're trying to be lucky with, or with the situation in general. All right, Libra. So we will move on to Scorpio now. Sun, Moon, or Rising. And for those who don't know, I, Oberon, am a Scorpio. Definitely a Scorpio. Always working with some strong emotions that I have, even when nobody can tell. That's the downside of it, is that I can be a little bit secretive and aloof about what I'm feeling. On the other hand, if you've watched any of our live shows, you can see me come alive emotionally when I go into the standby for bickering zone. It's true. Me and Banshee will have a bicker, and it's usually me. Alrighty, so Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, what is your vibe or energy? And oddly enough, you had the Page of Swords. Only for you, it means something different. It could be saying that, you know, what you're moving into this week, or the energy this week, is a cautionary to maybe dance carefully, to dance with tact, to be gracious and diplomatic where you can, especially in the emotions, that you could be just as likely to maybe hurt somebody if you're not careful, and that maybe this is a time where there could be easy misunderstandings. Now, will you be lucky, Scorpio? And I think so, but you'll have to work at it. It's the Four of Wands. So once again, it may be looking at those situations or persons involved and bringing them fully into the circle, and telling them you value them, but you also value what work they can do that will help the situation. How can they make both of you lucky? All right, so we'll move on to Sagittarius now. Sun, Moon, or Rising. What is the vibe energy for this week, Sagittarians? It's the reversed emperor. You are definitely not getting your way with a lot of stuff. You don't seem to be able to control or manage what's going on in your relationships. Maybe it's, being not emotional enough or too emotional. Something just doesn't seem to be playing right for you. Maybe there are people who are trying to give you advice on some of those emotional situations in your life, but you're not really listening to them, and that could probably be helpful too. So will you be lucky? And you will have to work at it, but it's the Two of Wands upright. And I think the idea is that, yes, there is a way of looking at this as saying that not only you're lucky, but it's also about really being able to look at and to capture what you think the future is bringing to you, Sagittarians. So good luck with that. And we'll move on to Capricorn now. Sun, Moon, or Rising. What is the vibe or essence of the week for you, Capricorns? Oh, Capricorns, you may have to deal with some situations revolving to your ego, and that maybe you might feel like you're being let down in a way. You're hung up because maybe you don't feel emotional things are happening in a positive way for you. And so this sort of looks like a time for you to sort of be within yourself wondering about that. It's important maybe to remember that it may not be as personal to you as it seems, and that you may have to learn how to remove some of your own ego from the situation. This could be for primary or other kinds of relationships. Now, will you be lucky? Yes, it will come at a price, though. It's the Ace of Pentacles, but it looks to me like maybe you're able to capitalize on mutual areas that relate to your prosperity, your growth, especially in the beginning. This is a card of beginning growth, cycles of growth, management, a sense of what you fulfill in each other is also indicated here. So yes, it will come at a price, but you should remember these ideas. It takes two to be in a relationship. All right, we'll move to Aquarius now. Sun, Moon, or Rising. So what is the vibe or essence or energy around Aquarians this week? This came up a lot in the last week or so. It's the Seven of Wands, right? I love this card. I love the image of this card. It's like, it's you and me against the whole world, baby. And, that's often heard in, pride communities, things like that. The essence or vibe of this weekend is feeling like you're going to stand tall against whatever comes to bother, your relationships or your energies. That if this is about, you having to really stand up for your own relationship, yes, you're there. Or in the sense of what's around you, maybe it's just also to, in the States, there's a lot of stuff going on about, challenging people for uh, all kinds of things that are personal, as if that there's only one default type of person. So will you be lucky, Aquarius? Well, dang. You too will be lucky, but you'll have to work at it. And the work just seems to be really joyful. You know, it seems like you find a way to involve these potential partners or the ones you may already have in finding that way to be lucky. Four Wands also often means a wedding or some big party that's about happiness and about people coming together. All right, so at last we are on Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What is the energy for this week? What is the vibe? And oddly enough, I don't know, I shuffled those cards. I didn't think they were nicked or anything. But you too may find that you're in a situation where you're standing up for what your emotional choices are, for what you believe in, no matter if you're out of the norm or in the norm or not. There just seems to be a time for you to maybe try a little harder to be on top of things. And this could be about new relationships or established ones. Will you be lucky? And it's the Wands, once again, you'll have to work at it, but it's the Knight of Wands. And so there may be a temptation to overplay your hand, to be overly confident when you really probably should be, but also maybe trying to bluster your way in, trying to use what you think is your glamour. And that may not be what works for you. So that's why I think it says you'll have to work at it, because for some reason, at least in this sense, you're not as charming as you think you are. Sorry, Pisces. I've been there though. All right, so let's talk about the shows for the week. As everybody knows, Saturday is happy hour. This week, it will be on at 10 a.m. It's more or less normal time. So come and get a happy card. We have a lot of fun in our chat room, and it's really a good occasion to meet and greet too. So do that. Come to our happy hour, 10 a.m. tomorrow, this Saturday. On Sunday, Banshees Material Matters, which is kind of like the corollary to this show, only on your personal economy. So find out if you'll be lucky in the economy. It's once again a reading for the 12 signs of the zodiac. She pulls 3 cards, so it's a little bit more elaborate reading. She also gives a wonderful astrological brief for the week, as well as a card for the collective to kind of pull ourselves into that, economic, material kind of state of mind. So Banshees Material Matters, it is a recorded show, but it premieres, it's live in the chat room, 10 a.m. Sunday mornings, and we definitely have a blast there, so you ought to show up there and hang out with the Tarot Tribe. All right, later on Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. is our regular live stream, one of 2. The other one's on Thursday night, but come to this one. Get there early. This is the busy one. We can only usually do within 2 hours, about, on average, 18 readings. So those spots fill up pretty quick. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they fill up in the first half hour in most cases. Thursday night, our show is from 7 to 9 p.m. That tends to be a little bit slower. You definitely can get a reading in there. But you know what? When nobody shows up, we might close early. We might close at 8:30 or 8 o'clock. So don't take us for granted. And again, we appreciate everything that all of you do for us, just the likes, the views. For those of you who have given us donations or sent us good cheer in other ways, we thank you so much. Namaste.